I thought that, wow, this team might have something going for it. And then the defense just couldn't do anything. Welcome back to Hark The Pod. I'm Matthew Maynard, the sports editor of the Daily Tar Heel. Next to me are Brian DeGuano and Beckett Brantley, the two assistant sports editors. Let's talk about UNC football and obviously their horrific showing against TCU on Monday night. They lost 48-14 in the season opener. Beckett, you and Brian, you guys both covered it. What were the initial takeaways from the game?
I think the first drive was a little bit of a kind of misleading. I think after that first drive, I turned to Beckett and I was like we're in for one. Like, this may be legit. And then that was the last time I think there was any positive connotation towards UNC's side of that game. I think the main takeaway I just felt like when you watch the offense, it was just hopeless in a sense. It was you knew that nothing was happening. There'd be drives where it'd be 3 straight 1-yard runs, and it's just
it's what are you doing?
Yeah. It's it'd be 3rd and 12, and they're running it again, and it's there was no chance. They weren't really. Drew didn't play well, but they weren't letting him necessarily.
They didn't let him really throw the ball that much
at all. If it was more than 3rd and 8, they'd hand it off. So I thought that was a little egregious, but I think hopeless and just not confident at all after that first drive.
What about you, Beckett?
I was still kind of riding for the run D in the second quarter, I'd say. I was optimistic that they'd be kind of the better half of the defense, and then obviously in the third quarter, immediately just fell apart, and after that it was pretty terrible. There's not a lot. Well, there's a few good things you can pick out of the game. Thad Dixon played really well. Max Johnson played considerably well, considering the position he was in, coming back from an injury, and obviously kind of some garbage minutes there. It's hard to tell what that actually means for the team, but considering that Gio Lopez is injured and we don't know his status going to Charlotte, could be important minutes.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround. Play again on Saturday, 5 days off, travel to Charlotte. But Brian, I'll go back to what you said about the opening drive. I was at the game with some friends, and I thought after that first drive, this team was going to be pretty good. And they still could be good, but after that first drive, I was like, wow, that was quick, efficient. Gio looked good. He had that 20-yard pass to Jordan Shipp.
And he was 39 yards. It was a big one.
And it looked and then Caleb Hood scored his 5th career touchdown ever on about a 10-yard rush. But I thought that, wow, this team might have something going for it. And then the defense just couldn't do anything. And then the other bright spot was they got that red zone stop when Caleb Koss picked it off to keep the game within 1 score. I mean, that was a big stop.
Yeah.
At the time. Obviously, it didn't really matter. But I guess the other big thing from yesterday is just the pregame scene and the feeling around Chapel Hill basically all day. I know you guys say you walked through campus before the game. I was on campus before the game. Just what did you make of it, and how different is it from what we saw last year with Mac Brown, Carolina, to Bill Belichick, Carolina?
Yeah, I mean, Polk Place was the quad was absolutely mobbed outside Wilson for the concert. I was walking through there to get to the game, and I couldn't even get through there. So I think my main takeaway from the Belichick hire, even to begin with, was that it may not result in playoff wins, ACC championships, but at minimum, it's going to bring kind of this attention to the program, and that culminated in last night. We saw Michael Jordan was there, a lot of UNC legends, Mia Hamm, a lot of them were there. They were in attendance, and I think that was cool. College Game Day was there, so that kind of environment was really cool. I think it was officially a sellout crowd. I think so.
Yeah.
The student section was full. It was a pretty insane atmosphere, I think, for UNC football. But I don't think I was necessarily surprised. I think that's kind of what I was expecting.
Yeah.
With all the media build up during the off season.
Yeah, pretty much. I stopped by the concert. Pretty good environment. People were into it. People got there early, I think, because the front of the crowd was pretty kind of the diehards. But yeah, I think for an hour when we sat in the press box, we could see people pouring in down whatever that road is that goes down to the stadium. But yeah, I was expecting it to be crazy. Was also not surprised when it pretty quickly emptied out.
Yeah.
Like, we did give the student section credit for sticking out halftime.
Yeah,
it was a pretty big crowd after
It was
halftime.
completely
Yeah.
full after halftime. I didn't notice any like.
And also, like, the blue zone, like, the season ticket holders, usually they kind of stick inside, but they came out for the game to their seats that they paid for.
I was just like, when I left my apartment to go meet up with some friends yesterday, just like the feeling around campus was different than I felt like it's ever been for a game day in my 4 years here. That it just felt a lot different. Like walking down Rosemary and then walking down Franklin, it was like, wow, there's a ton of people here. And then to get on the quad and have that many people so centralized,
Yeah.
I think really elevated it. I mean, it took a while to walk down between Wilson and the undergrad library to get towards the bell tower and the entrance. But other than that, it was packed. And it's the best crowd I've ever seen at Keenan.
Yeah, I've never seen a crowd like that. That night game too.
The only thing that comes close is the Miami game a couple years ago, which was great.
Yeah.
Atmosphere was incredible. But I'm curious to know how this keeps going because of their performance last night. Is it going to be the same, or is it going to be? I think there's going to be less people maybe showing up than they did last night.
I mean, the atmosphere is definitely gonna be different. Like, that was a night game, first game. So I don't think it's gonna be like that at all. I think it'll be a little better. Like, I think last year, like against teams like Pitt, it was a one-score game in like the third or fourth quarter before UNC collapsed in those games. But it was close, and the student section would be filing out. So like, I feel like it'll be a little bit better than that, and like people are still holding out hope. I mean, they have to at this point. So it's like, I think it'll be a little better, but I don't think obviously anything will necessarily reach that level again. But I do think it'll be better than we've seen in years past.
I mean, if you're Carolina, you paid all this money, you brought in so many new players, you really do have to hold out that hope, and you hope that they can turn it around at UNC Charlotte, facing former UNC quarterback, and see how that goes. But Charlotte's not very good, but it's hard to tell how good this UNC team can be. And also another main thing is who's going to start at quarterback? Is Gio going to be healthy enough? Or if he is healthy enough, do you go to Max Johnson? What do you guys feel like Bill's going to do?
I saw that video of Gio kind of limping down the tunnel. I think I don't remember if he was walking alone or with other people. Didn't seem too serious, but I just kind of get the vibe that they might start Max Johnson. He had, again, some that one good drive at the end of the game and almost another good drive. I think that one ended in a fumble maybe.
Yeah, lost fumble.
But he's definitely looking healthy. I know there were some doubts in fall camp whether he was 100%, but he looks the part.
I think if Gio's healthy, he will be starting. He'll be suiting up. I just think Belichick may be a little stubborn in terms of like that's who he picked to be starting quarterback for the year, and that's who he presumably will still go with. And I think, in a sense, Gio almost has to work out in terms of kind of the surrounding circumstances. Like, they brought him in to be the starting quarterback, so it's like
paid him a lot of money to do it too.
Yeah, I mean, if this UNC team wants to go anywhere, you'd assume it's led by Gio, and I think it was his first game starting for a Power 4 team. I think there were some jitters in terms of like he wasn't getting past his first read and stuff like that, but I think the arm talent's there. I think we saw it. I think there was a ball down the sideline to, I think it was Culver or Taylor, where it was a good pass. It was just like, I think the receiver dropped it. Like, I think he has the arm talent. I just think it's like the processing, maybe the mental speed that with time, I think he can get better at it. So I just think it's like maybe controlling those jitters and being able to process the game at the Power 4 level.
I definitely think the arm talent's there. I mean,
100%.
You saw it on that first drive when they ran a few RPOs and they let him actually throw the ball. But then when he didn't throw the ball, or he did very little, he didn't complete a pass for over 2 hours in like non-game time, like in real life time. And it was from that first drive. And then after that, the whole offense, to be completely honest, totally just felt like it shut down. They couldn't move the ball. I mean, Gio went 4 for 10 on the game, which shows that they really didn't let him throw that much. Yeah. Even when you fall behind, you kind of need to throw the ball a little bit more. Trust, and obviously it's first game, like starting for a Power 4 team, but let him throw. You brought him in for a reason. You brought him in to be your starting quarterback. Let him do his job.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see Gio start again. And I'd like to see them be a little more open to what they do with him and what they do with the offense in general. And I don't know if that's a Freddie Kitchens thing or if it's maybe a Bill Belichick thing where they wanted to play a little more conservatively last night. But I didn't really get that. I wanted to see him throw it a little bit more.
Yeah, and that first drive, they were up tempo. They were like, it wasn't huddle. They were going fast. And I thought they quickly moved away from that. They kind of, that second drive, they just started running. And there's like huddle, like he was under center, like just. So I think, I don't know, maybe playing towards that strength and if something is working like that, keep going. But
yeah, well, I think if he's healthy against Charlotte and he starts, like there might be a little bit of injury anxiety still, but like you'd think should be an easier get for them. Like you said, Charlotte's not very good. Yeah. And hopefully that means that Bill will have a little bit more confidence in Gio, and maybe he'll have more confidence in himself. Like you said, giving himself more time after the snap and kind of taking his options.
Yeah, I agree. And then I guess we'll do a little game predictions. You don't have to do score predictions, but do we think Carolina is going to get in the win column for the first time all year? And how close do you think this game will be? Carolina's apparently favored by about 14 headed into the weekend.
Yeah, I can't imagine they lose this one. I don't see a world once they lose one. I don't think for the new kind of whatever era Bill Belichick, like they can lose this. I think.
I don't think they can lose this.
I think it'll be questions like it'll be on the hot. Like Bill will be on the hot seat if they lose this one. So I think they win this one, and I think also just the message. You can't freak out too much. I know it's obviously like this team probably won't win an ACC championship, or they're probably not competing.
Not
That's what we learned. But I also don't think this is like a 2-10 team, which is I think some people's right now. But I actually will make a score prediction. I'll go 42-24 UNC. Okay. And Gio finds a little bit of a rhythm, assuming he starts and he's healthy and ready to go.
Yeah, I also think they win. I was kind of unsure about how high scoring it would be if they do win, just because of, like, it's really hard to tell from what we saw yesterday. But so I was going to go a little bit more conservative on the score. I don't have a specific score in mind, but I just really can't fathom them losing. They can't.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. They can't lose this game. Like, if they do, all hell will break loose in Chapel Hill. Like, it really will. And I think people will question the decision to bring Bill in, to bring in 70 new players, and really might question whether football can ever be successful in Chapel Hill, which eventually it probably will be. But this team's not going to win an ACC championship, I don't think.
No.
I don't think they'll go 10-2, Brian.
Easy schedule. I predicted them to lose to TCU.
We'll see. But I also think they're going to win pretty easily on Saturday. I'll go 31-10 UNC wins. Yeah, I think they should have this one and maybe build up a little more momentum for the end of their non-conference and then getting into the Clemson game.
Do you think football can ever be that successful in Chapel Hill?
I don't know if they can while they're in the ACC.
That's probably the biggest thing. They probably need to make the.
They need to make the move.
Jump to either the SEC or the Big Ten.
Either one.
They got to start filling up the stadium though. If they do that, so.
They have to fill up the stadium.
Yeah,
it's got to look like Monday night. Every game.
And noon games.
3:30 games against Campbell.
Against Richmond.
Yeah, Richmond.
So.
Yep.
I think I was the last person at that Campbell game.
I skipped that one.
He's part of the problem.
Hey, we're all guilty.
That's fair.
We've all left games early, I'm sure.
Oh, 100%.
I left the one Monday night early, TCU game.
Yeah.
That was part of the problem. But that stadium was empty by the fourth quarter. Keenan was empty.
Yeah, I mean it was empty. Like it's just like.
That's all for Hark the Pod. Thank you for listening.